In today's how-to video of Unite, we are going to be taking a look at how to convert an inactive member to an active member. So there are going to be two ways to do this. The first way to convert an inactive member is if the member exists in your organization. And then the second way of converting an inactive member is if the member exists outside of your organization. And so we're going to be taking a look at the first way to do that, and this is going to be if that, or the first scenario, and this is if the member already exists within your organization. So we're going to first navigate to the membership component, and under the Connect folder, select roster, and say, for instance, or in this example, we're entering this new member's application, but say we don't know that the information is already in Unite. But for this example, we're just gonna go through the process of entering a new user, and as you see, there are or Unite has spotted some duplicates when I was entering that new member. And so you're going to want to find, if this ever happens, you're going to want to find the member that you want to edit, or that duplicate. And so this example, there are two test last names, but I'm going to use the tutorial test member for this example. And when you are ready to edit that member, this is going to select this edit button in that edit column, and this is going to take you to that member's profile. So now that we found the member that exists within our organization, we can navigate to the membership tab. And here we can process a new activity. So you can see this person's last activity was forfeited. And so that made them an inactive member. But if we want to make them active again, we're going to want to process a new activity in this activities dropdown in the membership tab. So under the new activity field, open the drop down and either change their activity to paying on application or initiated to make them or put them in the active status. If we would change it to paying on application, they will be pending, but that is still technically in active status. So right now I'm just walking through adding a new or walking through the process of processing a new activity. Put them in a dues group, select their class, select the local they're in, set an activity date, a bargaining unit if applicable, and a subclass if applicable. But this one, they don't exist for the regular members. And then you're going to have to fill out your political contribution, representation, and dues checkoff. And when you're ready to process that activity, select the preview button. It's going to preview the members per capita and member dues. And if everything looks right, hit submit. You want to get a confirmation if you want to process this new activity. Are you sure you want to do this? And we're going to click yes to submit. And so now this activity has been applied. So we're going to refresh, and you're going to see that paying on application activity is, this paying on application activity is processed, and so it changed that status from inactive to pending, which now technically, and if we come back out here, come back to our roster, and we search for our member, they're technically pending. And so we can see that they're now pending, which is basically an active status. If we wanted to initiate the member, we would just set a new activity for initiated whenever they have been initiated and go through that process here. And I can show you that really fast. So set an activity date. And since we already answered the checkoff representation, I'm not going to have to do that again. So we're just going to preview that. If everything looks right, we'll hit submit. And so they were a pending regular, and now since they were initiated, We just initiated them as an active regular. So now their status is set as active, but that is how you would process that activity for or change the activity for an inactive member who exists inside of your organization. So the second way to convert an inactive member or a non-member, convert them to an active member in Unite is going to be, if they exist outside of your organization, is going to be in the global roster. And so we will take a look at that now. So if we navigate to the membership component and under the Connect folder, select global roster. This is going to show you every member that exists inside the entire organization and not just yours. So everybody in every district council throughout the nation. So with the global roster, you're going to want to find that member that you are looking to convert to a member in your organization or outside of your, to convert to a member inside of your organization that exists outside of your organization here. And so we will let's clear out our filters. And I'll search for my... Okay, and so we have our test user here, our test user. And as you can see, we have this convert to member button that's going to be appearing on the right-hand side near those buttons. Be a big button here on the right. But this convert to member button can be used to convert all non-members within the global roster and all members that have an inactive status. So you're going to see this button up here for those two types of members. And so this appears for this member because this test user is inactive. And so when you, and as you can see, I believe I'm under DC21. The test user using Unite is under DC21. But because we're on the global roster, we can view this test user in LU1010 for DC78. But when we want to convert this member, make them an active member in our organization, we're going to select that button, click. So it's going to bring us to a pop-up page. It's going to have this title, convert the member name to member. And so you're going to have this drop down to process the new activity. And so we'll just go and initiate this member here. We'll skip the paying on application process. We will set their activity date here. And now we're going to be putting them into our organization. So as you can see, the locals are going to be the locals under our DC21. And so that pathway will change. You set that application date, set their class, subclass, bargaining unit if applicable, their dues group, and if you want to waive that APF or not. And you can type in an SSN for them if they have one. If there isn't any here, it says the application date must be less than or equal to the activity date. Yes, that is very true. And just testing that function to see if that works, or that logic to see if that works, and it does. So boom. Oh, activity date must be greater than the last activity date. So if you see that happening, that means that this member, and I can't see their last activity date. That's because their application date is already in as 301. So when we go in to do this and initiate this member, we have to set it as the 3rd. And their application date was here. Well, I guess for this member, it would be the 3rd as well, because they're joining this local union preview. Yep. And now we can submit. And this member will be converted to an active, I believe I've set them as an apprentice, yep, in 252. And so now we can check that here. And so that's why I was trying to process the activity for the 1st of March, but I couldn't because they had application date of 3/1. So, but yeah, we got that to work. And so that's really how you convert a member in the global roster. And that's the second method, by converting a member that is outside of your organization. And so that's the two ways to convert a member, or convert an inactive member. And thank you for watching.